Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Families Helping Families Virtual Learning during the Pandemic webinar. All of the lines have been muted. Please use your chat box if you have any questions. Please watch for our event survey at the end of this webinar. This webinar is being recorded. Good morning. This is Beryl with Families Helping Families and Wallace Johnson, and we're going to be presenting virtual learning during the pandemic this morning. Go ahead, Wallace.
We will email all attendees um, the information that we want to share. That we'll email that to you at the end of the webinar. So I'm typing this in the chat box.
Also, if y'all have any questions, please feel free. Like if y'all have any questions that y'all like to maybe talk in private about, feel free to email Wallace or I, and we'll get back to you guys as soon as possible.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for attending this webinar. Like Beryl said, I'm Wallace Johnson for Families Helping Families, and we will begin. Let me see if my slide will flip for me. Okay, it's not flipping. So let me start a new share. Maybe that'll work. Share. I'm trying to get it to flip.
Oh, while Wallace is doing that, the reason we chose to do this online learning resource today is just so that we would save you guys like the time of having to research for resources. So Wallace and I just picked some resources that we thought would be very good to share with you guys.
Yeah, and we want to start out by telling you a great resource. It's LCAN, Louisiana Council's Advocacy Network. This is a great resource that you can join for free. Anyone is welcome to join it. People who typically join it are parents that have children or adults with disabilities, or it could be individuals with disabilities, policymakers, they're welcome to join it. Professionals are welcome to join it, educators. So really it's open to anybody who's interested in the types of things that LCAN is about. And it's a part of a statewide grassroots advocacy network. It links lawmakers with individuals with disabilities and family members together to make positive change in systems serving people with disabilities. LCAN advocates for policies and systems that support inclusion everywhere for people to learn, work, and live and play. It advocates for systems that support children and adults with disabilities to live in their own homes and to be fully included and participating members of their local schools and communities. LCAN leaders provide connections with regional team of regional advocates, provide information on proposed policy changes and how these changes may affect you and others. They also provide training skills to effectively advocate for system change and support you when you link with policymakers. And for the Region 5 area, Melinda Elliott is our LCAN leader. And if you're attending the webinar from somewhere else in Louisiana, you can contact the Families Help Family Center that serves your area and find out from them who your LCAN leader is in your area. Or you also could contact the Louisiana Developmental Disabilities Council to find out who your LCAN leader is. And your LCAN leader is the person that you go to get information about LCAN and what it's working on and so forth. As the COVID-19 coronavirus continues to spread, schools around the globe are shifting to online learning in an effort to slow the spread of the disease. And so this is part of the reason why we chose to do this webinar, because we know with COVID, things are a little bit different now. School is not the same as it once was.
Yes. This may be a stressful time for parents, students, and teachers. However, we must do everything we can to ensure that our students are still receiving a high quality education. A lot of the resources that we're going to show you at the end of the PowerPoint, you could use some of these resources to help you while you help your child study or just get information from. Go ahead, next slide, Wallace. Before we get started, we wanted to talk about some important information that you may need to know as we shift to meet the demands of online learning.
And we put together some information, and you'll be getting this if you're attending the webinar. We'll email it to you at the end. The information that we use to develop this webinar, like Beryl said, come from various websites and different things, but the majority of it came from the Calcasieu Parish School Board Connected Classroom Plan. We looked at that and we realized, me and Beryl both, as well as some of our other staff, realized that there's some things in there that parents need to know about, that we were concerned, how parents were going to find out about it. And we thought we have to tell people how different it's going to be, because the way you attended school earlier this year, since March, it's different now. And it may be a little bit different from school system to school system in other parishes, but some of the stuff we're sharing you, a lot of it will be similar.
Yeah.
And so I think it'll go across the board. If you're in another parish, some of the same or similar circumstances may apply. Virtual school attendance is required, and it's going to be monitored no matter what parish your school system you're in. Students will be counted tardy if they do not log into class on time, and they're expecting students to follow a normal school day. Learning must be done during school hours. So since it's so structured, or will be more structured this year, you may want to set up a quiet place for them to work, and so they can do their schoolwork undistracted, and so forth. So it'll be easier for them to focus and get stuff done. If your student is sick or will be absent, parents must contact their child's teacher and let them know, hey, my student is sick, or they're going to be absent, they're not going to be logging on. And because of these changes now, it's more important now than ever to have communication between the school staff and the parent. So we need you guys to communicate, because it's different now. It's not the same. So you want to stay in constant contact so that you're up on things, that you're on top of things, so you know what's changing, so what you need to know to function, and so your child or student can have success.
Now, a lot of that information is going to be found on the CPSB website, but you need to get familiar with your child's school website, because that is where a lot of the announcements are going to be posted. That's where you'll have easy access to your child's teacher if you don't know your teacher's email information. So that is very important that you get familiar with your school website.
Another good way, and that's good points, Beryl. Another good way too they share things is through social media, especially Facebook.
Yes.
So you want to, if you're on Facebook, you want to make sure that you go to your school system's Facebook page.
That's a good point.
And your school, I don't know if they have Facebook pages for individual schools or not, but I know they have them for the actual school system. Like there's one for Allen Parish School System, Calcasieu Parish School System, Cameron Parish School System, Jeff Davis Parish School System, Beauregard Parish School System.
Okay.
So those in the area, you want to definitely check their Facebook pages out too. What you see on the screen is like a sample schedule, and it says sample of the schedule, like it's pre-K through 8th grade. And you see in blue, or at least it looks blue on my screen.
Yeah, it is.
It says self-care. I believe that's right. And the other one, online with teacher, I believe it might be green.
Hmm.
Uh, and then the other one, independent work, it's more like a pink or a red. So they've got those blocked in. And so when you look at the self care, it starts at 7:30. You know, they're getting ready, they're brushing their teeth, and then they want them to log in around 8:15 to get their device going, and then by
And
8:30 get all their materials and things,
and
workbooks and stuff.
your child's teacher may do it different. This is just from the Calcasieu Parish school system wanted parents to be aware. A lot of parents thought that maybe that was just going to get work and log in with their teacher and get it and turn it in. So your child's teacher or your school may not follow this exact schedule, but this is just going to be similar. So
Right. Correct.
do
And so
Wallace, we have a
this is
question. Do children doing virtual school have to wear uniforms? I heard they do. I have contacted Dr. Washington and Miss Wendy, and she said that they will have to wear uniforms. So I'm glad Miss Melinda asked that question, because I did reach out to them and they said that they will be expected to wear uniforms. Now, I don't know if they're just gonna have their uniform top on, maybe, but they will be expected to wear uniforms. We don't. So we won't. We'll just go to the next slide, Wallace, because we're
okay.
gonna email them a copy of this, so
Yeah,
everyone
this
will
is,
have it.
and the whole point of this is to show you how structured it's going to be,
Yeah.
you know. And so that was the point. The next one is the high school schedule. If it'll flip, let me see if it'll go. Oops, it's not flipping. I have to see if I can fix that.
Sorry, y'all. It's giving us a little trouble this morning.
Maybe that's because it's wanting me to do that, and I don't want to do that right now. Let's see if it'll go now. Ah,
There you
okay.
go.
So this is a sample again of what high school is
For high
like.
school. Yes.
You know, so it's structured too.
And I was surprised when I saw that as well, y'all. So, I mean, that's why we really wanted to get this information out to parents. It's going to be important, that in this time before school starts, that you plan and prepare. You need to find out what is needed for your student to participate in virtual learning. I've had a lot of my parents call me and ask me about, like, either they haven't received their devices or they haven't heard from their teachers. This would be a good time now to try to at least reach out. I know you may not know your child's teacher for next year, but you may want to reach out to maybe the school counselor or your principal. There will be school fees included, but we know, with COVID-19, there's a lot of parents that are experiencing some hardships right now. So don't get caught up if you can't pay those fees, but you definitely need to contact your child's school as soon as you can, so that you can let them know what's going on and you can request assistance. Um, Again, we want to reiterate that, you need to make sure you set up a nice quiet place at home so that your student has a designated space to do their work. I know we've seen those fancy classroom setups, those are all nice and well, but I mean, if the kitchen table will do just fine, you just need to make sure that your child is going to have a designated space to do their work. You must have Wi-Fi services at home. If that is an issue, your school district can provide those devices. They will include a small deposit. I know for Calcasieu Parish, we've asked the question a couple of times, and I think it's like $20. So that's something, if you're maybe in another district, you need to reach out again to the principal, special education department, or the counselor. Also, the district is going to be providing hotspots as well. Let's see, Dana Fullington said, I know parents who thought they could do the work whenever I tried telling them. Let's see, I'm trying to click on it, Ms. Dana, I'm sorry. Let's see. I know parents who thought they could do the work whenever I tried telling them that they'd have a schedule to follow. I will be able to share this with them since it's being recorded. Yes, Ms. Dana, that is, I have to admit, whenever Wallace and I got, started putting this PowerPoint together, I didn't even realize it was a schedule like that. I just thought, like you said, other parents were like, you can do it whenever. So, I mean, that's again why me and Wallace wanted to, you know, do this webinar. Make sure that you contact your child's school before school starts. Don't wait till I mean, I have parents calling me about, I haven't heard from anybody. So like I said, start contacting them. I noticed that when you drive by those schools, you see cars out there. Somebody is there. So, contact your child's school before they start so that the child is prepared for the first day of school, especially our children with IEPs. I know a lot of my parents kind of didn't get to have their IEPs at the end of the school year. So we've done a lot of them over like phone conferences during the summer. But if that goes for your child and you feel the need to have an IEP, even if a meeting, just if you want to get on the right, just to make sure y'all start off all on the same page, this is a good time to start reaching out and requesting those IEP meetings.
Right. And if you don't hear from the school, please try contacting them again and again and again until you make contact.
Yes.
Because like we said, communication is now more important between the school staff and the teachers and parents. So if they haven't contacted you yet, try again. Stay up with them until you get a contact. Don't wait for the school system to contact you.
And if you do not know who you need to contact at the child school, Wallace, Melinda, or I would be more than happy to help you find that information. There will be students' expectations. We just wanted to take a little minute to highlight on that. Your student will be expected to check their email daily. It's not necessarily the student, but student and parent. Students must be able to contact the teachers by email if extra help is needed or if they have any questions. Your student will be expected to work each course daily. There will be a direct instruction from teachers every school day. Students will be expected to complete independent coursework online. Again, if your child, if you have any questions or if they need extra help, again, we want to keep stressing on that. Communicate, reach out to your child's teacher. The students must follow all online policies and procedures. Those policies and procedures are usually when they send home the handbook at the beginning of the school year, when we get that big stack of papers and they tell you to flip to the back. That is the online policy and procedures that we sign and we send back as parents. I'm not quite sure how they're going to do that this year, but they will be following the same guidelines for the online policies.
And it says that there's going to be direct instruction from teachers. This also could include videos that they prepared for you to watch too.
Yeah.
So they're counting on students to log in and stay logged in because of this direct instruction. So they're expected to have direct instruction from the teachers day to day. So this is why it's so important for them to be logged in and do their work during the school day so they don't miss that direct instruction from the teachers. Keep in mind, if you have a student receiving special education services, IEPs, or 504 services, your student must have access to their individualized accommodations or modifications while at home. This may include video access to aids and specific logins for websites and apps. So, and also, for any additional issues or concerns, you should contact your appropriate school staff to request a meeting. If you need further information or support, feel free to contact Families Help Families for help. So we're here to help you. I know this may seem like a lot of information, which can be overwhelming, but as parents, you need to make sure that you have a clear understanding of what's expected so that you can better support your student. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yeah, I want to highlight on that again. This is new for everybody. This is new for our teachers. This is new for us as parents. So don't be afraid to ask questions, to reach out and make sure that you do understand everything, so that, you know what's going to be expected. In order to further assist parents, we have put together a list of resources that you can use to help assist your students with online learning. We've searched high-low for the most effective and user-friendly e-learning tools, informative websites, and expert advice that you could use to help make the best of going back to school during the pandemic. We wanted to kind of start off on some very important websites that you need to know. Again, we're going to be emailing this PowerPoint to you, so you'll have the links and everything that you need. But me and Wallace just kind of pulled out, this isn't, all of them. We just kind of pulled what we thought would be some, good need to know websites. And one of them is where we're getting this information from, and that is the CPSB Connected Classroom. That is the handbook that they have. You can find that on the Calcasieu Parish website. But we went ahead and attached that link to there so that you would have that website information. Also, the autism team, they have a really, really good website tool that you can use that will link you to an array of services, resources, study tools. And the way you get to that is you can scan with your phone. I think you can actually do that. Like if have your PowerPoint up, you could like screenshot it. I know Miss Julie said that you can screenshot it, and then you can scan it at any time, and it'll bring you to their link. But if not, you'll be able to click on the PowerPoint. Whenever Wallace sends it, you'll be able to click on that website or scan it once you receive the PowerPoint. Rights Law, Special Education Law and Advocacy is a good website that we use to get information from on special education law. That's like my go-to website. The way they have a search box where, like, if you want to search bus transportation information, then they will narrow down the search and provide you information, law, things that you can use to better advocate for your child will be found on that website. Also, we wanted to give y'all like two expert advice websites that me and Wallace thought contain some very good information. And one of them is understood.org for learning and attention issues. So again, when you receive the PowerPoint, you will have the link for understood.org. But we went ahead and just kind of sent you the link for so you could go to like learning and attention issues. When you click on it, oh my God, it's so awesome. It will take you to, I'm going to pull it, I have it. It'll take you to all kind of different website resources that you may need. So if your child is suffering with anxiety, you can click on that link and then it'll take you to another website and it'll show you all kind of information. Understood.org is a very good resource website. If you are not familiar with it, you may want to take some time before school starts to kind of familiarize yourself with it. Also, I'm sorry, go ahead, Wallace.
And Beryl is right with these resources. I can't tell you how many times we go back to them. We routinely go back to them. Sometimes we go to them every day. Sometimes we go to them several times a week. But we frequently go to these websites. So they are definitely good resources.
Yeah, and if you've worked with me before, I'm always giving out all kinds of information and tools. So if you worked with me before, you know that you probably received a lot of information from understood.org. It's pretty awesome. I love the Child Mind Institute, but it's childmind.org. But we went ahead and highlighted the link that they had for back to school resources. So it has an array of different topics that you may need to know, or you could read over before school or during school. So we went ahead and just, when you click on the link that we'll send you on the PowerPoint, it'll take you to the actual back to school resources. But take some time too. You may want to familiarize yourself with childmind.org. It's a really awesome website as well.
And this next one is, of course, Louisiana Believes. And what is Louisiana Believes? It's the Louisiana Department of Education. It's their website. And there's a lot of good resources on this. And we put this in here because we want you to know about the resources. And from the screen, you could see there's like COVID-19 information and resources. You could go there for information about COVID-19. There's also their plan for Strong Start 2020. You could go there and look at things that's right there on the screen where you could find out about
Yeah,
how
can
they're
I,
wanting to do a strong
Wallace and I,
start.
we just wanted to highlight this because you will be. I have a lot of parents, or we have a lot of parents that call, and they're familiar with CPSB, they're familiar with their school website, but a lot of parents are not familiar with Louisiana Department of Education's website. That's why we wanted to have this slide all on its own, because it's right now it's just a snippet of what the homepage looks like, because we wanted y'all to be aware of the, kind of know what the family support toolbox is. So if you look right there in that little, on the left-hand side, it says family support toolbox. When you click on, I mean, not on this is just a snippet, but when you go to that website and you see the family support toolbox, you click on it, it has homework help, it has curriculum help, all the modules that your child may need or use. There's videos, there's PowerPoint. So we just wanted to kind of highlight on that one.
Is it showing right now? Because
Yeah,
I
it
pulled.
is.
Okay.
Well, I don't see the, let's see. Okay, we have a question. How will my child get the extra help they get from the resource teacher with virtual school? That's a good question. That is, if your child is receiving special education services, and like we said earlier, your child should be receiving all of their accommodations and modifications. But that is when you want to reach out to your child's resource teacher, the school counselor, your program facilitator, and let them know that your child is in need of extra help. A lot of the websites that we have that we're going to share with you guys are study resources, or resources that your child could use. We didn't want to make them all educational, so some of them are fun, um, interactive websites that they could use to get extra help on things that they may struggle in. But again, if it's extra, maybe an increase of their special education time, or you may notice now, since they're doing virtual school, you may need a different accommodation that you didn't have, in the past. So that is when, you want to reach out to your IEP team to find out, to get those questions answered, or to request the assistance that your child is going to need.
And with virtual schooling right now going on, if you're doing virtual schooling, your child may not have the same teacher. It
Yeah,
may be someone that's different to doing the virtual school information. And usually the teachers that are the virtual teachers, or the teachers that are doing the virtual learning, will have a specific contact where you can, time of day or something in their schedule, where you can contact them if you have questions or need to follow up too. While we're on this website, Beryl, do you want me to go to any of the links or anything? Because we have time if you do.
Yeah, if you want to click on the family support toolbox, I
Okay,
just
that's
saw.
where we're at right now.
Okay, I don't see it.
Yeah, okay, I'll go back.
Does everybody see it?
Can you see? I'm on the main screen now. Is that what you see, Beryl?
Yes, I see Louisiana Department of Education.
Okay, now I'm clicking the toolbox right here. Okay, so this comes up. This is inside their toolbox. And they got all kinds of information about the schools, where you could check out if you're in a charter school, there's stuff here for charter
Wallace, I
schools.
don't see it.
You don't see it?
No. And I
Okay,
think
let me
Miss
do a
Melinda
new
said she
share
doesn't
then.
see it.
New share. Let's see. Is it this? I'm gonna
Yeah,
try it.
Miss. There you go, Wallace. There you go. This is inside of the family support toolbox. Like we were telling you earlier, this is you have your family support library. If you need to contact someone from Louisiana Department of Education, um, but where we wanted to, like, the academic support. Miss Dana says she got it. Okay, so the academic support, where it says like parents back to school guides, you can click on here, homework help. It will take you, it will open a new tab. You don't want to click on it, Wallace, because we don't want to kind of, but
Okay.
I mean, they'll be able to see it. Um, there's, if your child is in high school, and there's college and career help. This is the tool over there where it says students with disabilities. That's a good one. It has all your guidance forms, accommodations, There's a lot of information that you can find using this toolbox. If your child is attending the charter schools, I know I'm hopping kind of around, but it's under school information. If there is information that pertains to the charter schools, as well as the school report cards. That's a good one that, if you want to find out information about your child's school or another school, you can click on that and find out the school report cards. So this is just a really good tool that parents could use. We have a question, Wallace. Will my child be able to get therapy when she does virtual school? Yes. I know that I've talked to Mr. Mills, and he's one of the Calcasieu Parish school, what is he? He provides I'm lost for words. He's a school support staffer. Like, my daughter had emotional disturbance, so she was his school psychologist. I'm sorry, y'all, I didn't get the words out right. But a lot of them are going to be using the telemedicine, so that they can still get their adequate, therapy hours. But if you don't know who your child, like Mr. Mills stayed with my daughter through like every grade, every school year. So if you don't know if your child is receiving any support therapy during school, you need to kind of reach out to that person. Again, that would be a good question to ask and reach out to your program facilitator or your child's IEP team. Did that kind of answer it, Ms. Melinda? Does that include speech therapy? Yes, ma'am, it does. OT, speech. Okay, go ahead, Wallace.
Okay, can you see the where it says curriculum resources for online learning, the websites again?
Yes.
Okay. These are some like Beryl said, these are some learning sites, but fun. And the Kid Zone is just that. When we went there, we had fun ourselves because they had like you could do games, but while you're doing the game, you're learning. And so we had fun playing with some of those. So that was in Kid Zone. So it says there it's about improving literacy, but yet with all the fun stuff, it's really neat.
It had color by numbers.
Mm-hmm.
The stories that they could, and some of them, if y'all, we'll click on them for you guys. Especially if it's one that you want to see. But we didn't want to make it because Wallace is like, God, they're going to be on school all day, and then now they're going to have to get on, these different study. But we tried to find some things that would be fun for all ages. So we've tried to include early childhood in here as well. You can continue on, Wallace. I just wanted
Right.
to.
And I believe this Kid Zone, if I'm right, it had like comic books in there where they could read for the older kids. So
Yeah.
I just thought that was really cool. And PBS Learning is good. It says it's totally free. You can do any grade level, any subject area, by keywords, by standards. This also covers physical education and PE.
Yes, this one, I'm telling y'all, when we clicked on it, it was awesome. It covered every subject, videos, games, all supplemented materials can be searched by grade level, subject area. It just really made it, you could share resources with your class. They had it was just really a good website to use. So this is fun, and it like Wallace said, it does cover physical education.
And then mashup math. I hate math. I never was good at math, but the videos and the puzzles and the worksheets kind of help make it a little easier.
Yeah.
So it's not so regimented, and it's like, because when I was in middle school, I just had a mental block when it come to math.
Yeah,
I just couldn't get it. But with these games and videos and puzzles, it's a different way they can learn math and interact with math. So it takes this pressure off, where you could actually learn while having fun.
Yeah. And most of these all of them, we chose free websites because there was a lot of them. And, I'm going to put together a fact sheet, like a sheet with a lot of like all kind of curriculum resources for online learning. that if you just kind of shoot me an email, I can send it to you. But the ones that we picked for the purpose of this PowerPoint are free websites.
And the National Geographic for Kids, it says in there the deal where we copied this from their page. It says students can enjoy science experiments, watch animal cameras, and it's a ton of activities to keep them busy for hours. So it's
Yeah.
really true. They could go on there and just watch all kind of stuff, see all kind of stuff, and before you
Yeah.
know it, an hour has passed.
Yeah, so we try to do ESL, we try to cover math. We kind of picked this one for more like our science and social studies. But again, it's good for all ages. Like I said, it covers. We just thought this would be good for our science and social studies aspect of it.
Yeah, and like the kids zone, we covered for like literacy and English and so forth like that too. So Beryl is right. We tried to cover all the subjects.
Oh yeah, we had a question while where she said, well, it's more Khan Academy. Yes, Wallace and I was debating whether or not we were going to put this one on here, but we were totally blown away by Khan Academy. It was just hard. Like I had like almost 20 pages of them, and we tried to like narrow them down. But I do have. Let's see. I pulled it up here. Khan Academy. This is what who said that? Miss Sherry. Okay, yeah, Khan Academy. You can, if you're taking notes, it's you just type in it's KHAN Academy, and it's a great online learning website for students of all ages. The site offers short video lessons on thousands of topics, and their programs are personalized to allow children to learn at their own pace. Top it off, all the videos and resources are free for all the users. And this is great for ages 4 through 18. So Miss Sherry, thank you, because that was one that Wallace and I was really like, man, we didn't want to just like have websites for days, but I'm so glad you brought that up. Like I said, if y'all want that, we'll give y'all the information at the end of this PowerPoint, and I'll make sure to include the link for the Khan Academy.
And who doesn't love Sesame Street? I think everybody does.
Wallace, you stayed on this one for like 20 minutes.
I played some of the games and stuff too for a few minutes. I couldn't resist. Yeah, students have access to the video games, clips, and they help them with phonics, rhymes, colors, and more. So for the Sesame Street lovers, for those that have the kid in you, if you're like me, it's still a good website. Whoops.
On website.
Okay, and do you want to cover the last link, Beryl? Or you want me to cover it?
Which one, Wallace?
AttitudeMag, do you see it?
No, I don't see it.
Okay, I have to do another screen share. Let's see. New share. Okay, maybe it'll work now. Is it there? Is it? You see it on the screen?
I'm having some issues. Can you hear me?
Okay. Well, Attitude Mag is it's a website for learning, and especially with kids and adults that have ADD or ADHD. But because of the stuff that's on there for learning, it's actually for good, even if that disability is not an issue, because there's such good information in there. It's also good. They have apps and things on there to help to build social skills and things. So Attitude Mag is one that I frequently go to. They have free webinars that they offer too. So you could, if you want to, you can subscribe to their free stuff, get their free stuff. And then that way, if there's a webinar that they offer, you can always join it. And a lot of times if you miss their webinar, you can, after you registered, they'll send it back to you where you can watch the link later. So they got a lot of good educational things that they share at Attitude Mag. So we wanted to share that with you because as one of our websites that we picked, because it's just like got tons and tons of free information that you can use. Now they do have stuff on that website for sale, but I, usually use the free stuff. I could buy stuff if I wanted, but for most of the stuff, I just use the free stuff, and there's still a lot with the free stuff that you get. So it's still, we thought that it was still a good resource to put as one of our picks for you.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I was going out. I just couldn't even hear you.
Oh, I apologize. Hopefully
No,
everyone heard me.
that's my no. I think they did. I just didn't hear you. It was going out. I couldn't hear nothing. Sorry about that. You can go to the next slide, Wallace.
And then I'm trying to get it to go to the next slide. Let's see.
Oh, Miss
Hopefully
Melinda
this,
said she did hear you, Wallace.
okay. I'm for some reason my screen is locked from going to the other side, and I'm doing a new share. Maybe I'll have to do it this way, and then from current slide, see if it'll go. There we go. And so we're at the point where we take question and answers on, and I know we've answered a lot of questions already, but I know y'all may have more. And feel free to contact us afterwards if you don't think of your question right now, but think of it later.
Or
We're still available.
feel free to suggest any websites or information that we may not. Like I said, it was very hard just trying to narrow, the resources and websites down. There was many of them. We just thought we would save y'all some time of having to scroll and research. So like I said, please feel free to share with us any other tools that you may have so that we can share with other parents as well. Let's see any questions that we have. So far, we don't have any. I think we've answered all of them right now. Okay, Wallace, you took it away.
Oh, can you still see the box,
Yeah,
Beryl?
yeah. Everyone said that it was, Miss Dana said it's been great. Thank you, Miss
Okay.
Dana. So this will conclude our virtual learning webinar. Again, if you have any questions, if you want to share any of this additional information or resources with us, please feel free to do so. Can I have access to other webinars? Yes, ma'am, Ms. Dana. We will send you some of the PowerPoints for the other webinars. We definitely will. You know how to get in contact with us, but we'll make sure if we missed out on one, just call us and let us know, and we'll make sure that you have access to the other webinars. Yes, ma'am.
We have on our website where you can find information about what we got coming up next. Also on the Families Helping Families Facebook page for Southwest Louisiana. You could go to our Facebook page and see the webinars there. Some of them have been posted live on Facebook, not all of them, because sometimes some of the presenters, they do not wish us to record, so we respect their wishes. And then sometimes there's just technical difficulties that sometimes it just doesn't happen because of technical difficulties. But we do have some of the webinars recorded live on Facebook. Families Helping Families also has a YouTube page where you could go to our YouTube page. You can also find them there. And on our website, at the top of our website is where you see the Facebook emblem to go to our Families Helping Families Facebook page. But the YouTube one is not up there. But the way to find our YouTube channel is if you go to our website, find our Contact Us link, and then go to our Contact Us webpage, and then all our social links are listed there on our contact page from our website. So you can go to the Families Helping Families website, find our contact page, and then you can click on that button and go to the YouTube page. And I want to thank Beryl for helping me with this webinar. And I want to also thank all the attendees that have joined it, because you're the reason why we do this webinar. We couldn't do this without you. So thank you again for joining us for this webinar. And please complete our survey at the end.
Y'all have an awesome Saturday and the rest of the weekend. And again, like I said, we'll make sure that you get a copy of this PowerPoint.
Enjoy your Saturday.
Y'all have a great day.
Everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.